Hello and welcome to GI Reviews. I am the Ruckus. Today we will be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified series David Big Ben Bennett of Night Force. So it's a subgroup for the Joe Squad. Ben is a British citizen and he's part of this little club here. And there are a few other members. This is the first that I've got of Night Force. It will not be the last, that is for sure. So, yeah, pretty good. I'm very happy to have Big Ben as an entry into my collection. Also, this is a Walmart exclusive that needs to be stated as well. So looking at our packaging, you see the nice digital rendering, or I should say the 3D rendering of the figure. We've got toy figure photography going on the left side, and we've got art going there on our right. And of course, above we've got Dave's loadout there, looking pretty. It's not crazy extensive like we've seen, but it's still adequate. We've got 3 weapons and an additional head sculpt, so you got to love that. I got a few magazines, so yeah, this is it's pretty nice. There you go. Then when you look at the top, of course, you know what's going on. We've got that G.I. Joe logo at the top there. Got more of that artwork on the side of Big Ben, and of course, this is number 77, which you see that number below the G.I. Joe logo. You see what's going on the flip side at 77. The artwork is behind the number. You've got the QR code. Once again, we don't know what that's for. And then we've got 4 icons showing Big Ben's specialties. On the rear, we have digital rendering sketch of the figure and the accessories. You also get a height measurement. Big Ben here is standing at 6.5 inches. So he is one of the taller classified series males. And then, of course, you see his loadout next to him, as well as that additional head sculpt. It's a masked head. For what I understand, all of the Night Force come with masks or masked heads, one or the other. I guess I'll find out as I build up my Night Force crew. And then, of course, we've got to the right, they're showing the patches that Big Ben has on his arms. He's got the British flag, and then he's got the Night Force logo on his right shoulder. Looking at to the left and right of the packaging, we've got the container, if you will, that Big Ben was housed in, and it's got that same artwork that's basically in black and white, but it also it's black and white, but in a more grayish kind of tone. So pretty nice there. I've always appreciated black and white illustrations, or even the old school movies that are in black and white. There's a certain aesthetic to them. On our right side, we have the foot locker that has come with all of the G.I. Joe products ever since we went plastic free. And you see the David Big Ben Bennett right there. And 77 is on the top and bottom of that cardboard foot locker. And here we have Big Ben himself. He's got everything he comes with. Both of his long-range weapons. They both have their magazines inserted. His sidearm is holstered, and he's got a suppressor, and that is housed on the rear of his belt. He has a pouch for the magazine, for one of the magazines on his back, but I've got that magazine inserted in the weapon already. Here's Big Ben on our rotating base. So you could see him all around, get a look at what you're working with there. And yeah, looking pretty good. Very, very nice. Very nice. from head to toe. Quite frankly, he looks good. We're going to look at him more closely, of course, but just giving you a taste of what your guy will look like standing on your shelf in some kind of pose. And now, looking at Big Ben up close and personal. The first thing I mean, the cap obviously is looking all that right there, very very nice. And turning to the side, I wanted to take note of it's sculpted in, but he's got some type of a communication device affixed to his ear. So there is that. So keep that in mind. And but looking at the face, he also has war paint, we'll call it, camouflage, and yeah, the face sculpt is looking pretty nice. You could see he's got dual set of bandoliers going across his chest, and he is rocking an overlay. He's got mostly the top is mostly in drab kind of green. He's got a few different shades of green there. The bandolier, the rounds are painted in a brass-like color, and there's a green stripe over them. That's supposed to show that's how they're being housed and secured within that bandolier. But of course, you know it's just it's paint. And on the shoulder, the straps going over, you could see there's some blue over there. There's that Night Force patch on his right shoulder, and then on the left shoulder you see the ode to Great Britain there. Very nice. He's got the belt, some silver paint for the buckle. Turning him around, you can see right here is that housing for the magazine, and you see the suppressor right there. Pretty nice. You see his side arm is snugly housed in the holster on his right leg. And time to take out the weapons so you can get better look at those. I'll stand Big Benny back there for a quick second, and you see his weapon right here. It's molded in a like a plastic looking gray. So yeah, that's looking kind of cheap. I'm thinking, for me, they're either going to be molding them for the most part either in a gray like this or black. I think I'd prefer black because at least black doesn't look as cheap as the gray. I'm not saying it doesn't look cheap, I'm just saying it doesn't look as. So I'm going off of the lesser of two evils. And here's the magazine. This magazine fits in the back there. I'll set the weapon down and turn him around and show you guys that it can be housed in the back. Of course I drop it. That's because I didn't bend forward a little bit to shove it in. It should go in there nice now that I cleared the way. And then yeah, there you go. So you see you have a magazine there, and then you have the suppressor there. The suppressor is for the sidearm. I'll pull the suppressor out. You see it's just molded in that same gray. And then I'll pull out the weapon. It's in snug, so I will have to yank it. There we go. It's out there. I'll move Ben to the side for now and bring back the weapon. And here's the suppressor. Just fit it right over the muzzle of the weapon, and then there you see, and it really adds to the aesthetic, to the look of it. Very, very nice. Then the last weapon we've got here is this. This is the business right here. And this also has a magazine. You see that it's all molded in that plastic looking gray, but the rounds are painted in that brass color. And You see it's got a handle here. I was having him hold it via the handle at the beginning there. This can come off. So you see like that. It's got a porthole, and then the peg is right there. You just line it up and you make sure that the rounds are pointing forward, so that way it doesn't look crazy. And there is your your business. And I'm not a weapons guy, so I couldn't tell you what the names, the numbers, or what have you, the designations of any of these weapons are. I just know if they're dope or not. Pulling the other weapon back, the handle, the forward handle there is articulated. So in fact, it just came off, but it didn't break. It's just on there like a clip, so that you can pull that out or push it down. So you have that. Now, in terms of Ben himself, looking pretty nice there. His head is on a what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say a dumbbell. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So he could look up that far. He could look down that far. You get attitude, some nice attitude, and there is movement with that neck, because the neck is also free flowing on its own joint. So you've got that. Shoulders, you can get it into a nice T pose. You can go back. Of course, this is G.I. Joe classified, so they do have butterfly joints. He can rear back that much. Clap test. It's funny, I call it the clap test, but no figure has ever performed a clap. We had one figure that got close, but no cigar. That's the closest you're going to get with Ben. His overlay is pretty thick, so it is what it is. Bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. On the left, he's got the swiveling wrist as well as the vertical hinge. On the right, of course, the swiveling wrist and the horizontal hinge right there. His torso's on a ball joint. He can rear back that far, a little bit further actually. Rear back that far and go forward that far. He can go side to side. It's a little tight, but he can go side to side, and you can rotate. Hips, you can get it that far out. Of course, you get drop down, not as much as on some, but he does. Or maybe it just looks like it's not that much because the overlay carries all, below his waist. And it does impede him lifting his leg up some. So you get that much going, kicking forward. I've got a paint blemish. No, it wasn't. It was just something on there. I thought it was a red paint blemish from something. And then go back that far. He's got a thigh cut, double jointed pinned knees. See if I can get that second joint to go. Very tight, very, very tight. Will he go for me? There we go. You heard all of that. Almost sound like he was cracking knuckles. So he's got double jointed pinless knees. He's got a swivel at the top of the boot. He could point his toe forward that far, up that far. He's got an ankle rocker, and he does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. So that is our David, Big Ben Bennett. I just dropped the magazine. That was that impact that you heard. See if there. Yep, there we go. At least get him centered. Here's that other head sculpt that's a completely covered face mask. And as I stated, all of the members of Night Force, from what I gather, either come with an additional head sculpt that's a completely enveloping mask, or they come with a mask that can fit over their existing heads. I don't really know yet which is which. If it's both, one or the other. Well, definitely the one. We know at least one comes with an additional head sculpt. And here's what Dave looks like with that head sculpt on. It's going to be pretty cool when I amass more members of Night Force Still don't know. I figure I'll probably display them all once I have them all with their masks. I actually got a second Big Ben, so it could be a different character, and that one will definitely be wearing the mask. But if I get more, well, not if, when I get more of Night Force, then it'll probably make the point moot, because then if I pose them all with their masks on, both Bens, because that's exactly what they are going to look like twins. So that's redundant now. If I keep them separate from the rest of the pack, so to speak, and have one in the mask and one with the the regular head sculpt, that's different. That could just be Ben and a fellow Night Force soldier. Here's a shot of Big Ben in that mask, and pretty decent scene there. And here's another quick little scene with Big Ben about to get into a little some with a range viper. And we've got to have him pose with a couple Joes anyway. So here we've got Cover Girl, and we have Falcon. And so my final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Walmart exclusive Night Force David Big Ben Bennett. Nice figure. Very nice figure. Love the additional head sculpt. He's got a decent loadout of weapons. There were some things I neglected to mention about the weapon, so I'll cover that now. Both of his Long Rangers have portholes, so you can apply blast effects. So you do have that. And I failed to mention that his big dog has articulated bipods. So you can use those and set it down. You can have him in a prone pose trying to fire that weapon. Not necessarily a prone pose because the magazine would get in the way, but like modified, like he would have the weapon secured on like a rock and he'd be like sitting behind it, or some sort of bunker or something to offer him some protection. But yeah, it does have that, and I didn't state it before, but I'm saying it now. I'm trying to be thorough, even if it's after the fact. Anyhow, our guy Big Ben, very nice. My first Night Force figure, and I plan on extending this sub-team of G.I. Joes, which actually goes in line with a little project that I've been working on. I've been teasing about that for a minute. I'm still not ready to unveil it. It's nothing crazy big, but it's just something I'm trying to be innovative about, and you guys will know at some point. What I would like to know from you guys is if you like the video. So hit the like button. Please do so. If you haven't subscribed, and I know many have not because I'm looking at the subscribership, please do that too. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Free to like and free to subscribe. So please help me out and do both. Definitely the likes, because that helps the algorithm. It'll send out, they'll know to recommend my videos to other interested parties. And hopefully we can go forward from there. Leave your comments below. What do you think about Big Ben? What do you think about G.I. Joe Classified Series? Anything. What do you think about my use of dioramas? If you think I'm doing too much, or if you think they're pretty cool, let me know. I can take it. I'm here, I'm public, so I've got to be willing to accept the positive and the not so positive criticism, in other words. You want to be notified when I upload another video. There's a bell down there for you to hit, and notified you shall be. Once again, this is GI Reviews. I am the Ruckus. That's David Big Ben Bennett, and we thank you. I'm out.